Hello everyone, welcome back to Path of Exile. It's been a little while since we ventured into this game, but it has a new expansion that came out while I was moving into this new house. So unfortunately I wasn't able to jump in right at the start like I wanted to, but I have made a new character. Actually, this is my second character. The first one kind of hit a wall that I wasn't prepared for, but we're doing well on this one. And I wanted to go through the expansion and share my first reaction to everything with you guys. But in order to do that, you kind of need to know what my character is capable of. So this is a Contagion Essence Drain character. I probably said that backwards. I do that a lot. That's okay. But essentially, this is all about damage over time, scaled up to monumentous effect, if we do it right, and is capable of killing a large number of enemies extremely quickly. So this is Contagion. I do have the Arcane rune on it, but you'll notice that it does some pretty decent damage over time, and whenever a target with Contagion dies, then what happens is Contagion is then spread to every nearby enemy. So it's a pretty cool way of dealing some pretty good AoE damage, but it does scale up from there. We also have Essence Drain, which empowers that Contagion with even more damage, and as you can see, is capable of killing off enemies very, very quickly. It'll just go through packs like it's nothing. Right there, clearing pretty much the whole screen. And it's with these two combos that our character really progresses through the game quite quickly. We do have Shield Charge as well with a Fortify on it, so whenever we do Shield Charge into something, we get a little bit of a buff, so we take less damage. And we also have a Blasphemy aura going on with Enfeeble, so enemies around us deal less damage. That allows us to basically charge right in, buff these or debuff these guys with Contagion, and then spread that damage in every direction without having to worry about damage taken too much. As far as the talent tree goes, well, the passives tree, excuse me, for you PoE purists. We essentially just went to the right of our starting tree, picking up health where we could, and getting this increase to chaos damage, which is the vast majority of the damage that we are dealing. I kind of went back for this a little bit later, so I just went around this path, worked my way up, grabbed this health, grabbed that damage, and then essentially started to pick up health and mana increases along the way over to a talent that was sizably buffed in this patch, Mind Over Matter. 30% of the damage that we take hits our mana bar before it hits our health bar. And our shield kind of gives us a little bit of a buffer as well. As far as gear goes, you can see it right here. It's nothing too spectacular or anything. We are using a scepter and a shield for the shield charge. Can't use a wand or anything. You do have to use a scepter. And I do have the tabula rasa, like I always do, because I don't know how to go through this game without one. Now, I have the organs of all of the last boss's little mini-bosses. We can go in and kill him, hopefully without dying and embarrassing myself. And then from that point on, the game progresses into 6 new acts that were previously not in the game before. We only had acts 1 through 4 that would then repeat 3 times, depending on the difficulty that you were on. And that was a leveling experience before, but we have 6 brand new acts to venture into, and it all starts after these boss encounters. I'm sure a lot of you that have played the game before have already seen this as well, so it shouldn't be too surprising. Hopefully I don't get owned. Now we do have the Wither totem as well. It's Wither on a spell totem with, I believe, increased duration, and that allows me to throw this down, and it will constantly be debuffing targets so they get increased damage over time to them, essentially making our Contagion and our Essence Drain even better. So the longer that boss stays there, the more damage he's gonna take from our other abilities because of that stacking Wither damage. And I'm able to dodge the majority of damage that the enemies kind of dish out towards me with our shield charge, while our damage is still ticking away from the Contagion and Essence Drain. So as you can see, it's a pretty effective setup. I really like it, actually. We do need to kill Piety here. That was a beautiful spread. She should go down on her own. We shouldn't have to touch her again. There we go. And the boss. Okay, we're gonna go into second phase here, where he's gonna drop down below, and this is where shit actually starts to get pretty difficult. But we have to talk to her. Hey, okay, bye.
Let us see if you truly understand what it means to be Nightmare.
I understand what it means. Right, Wither Totem down. He has been hit with Contagion, he has been hit with Essence Drain, and now he just needs to do the dance. He is going to make himself immune to damage and use these kind of hearts placed around the side of the arena to supplement his HP. So we just need to keep avoiding stuff as much as possible. Our resistances aren't crazy high, but they're okay. Our health isn't crazy high, but it's okay. The mind over matter really does have a meaningful impact, though. I can tell already. All right, Wither Totem down. We need to kill this heart now. There we go. Another one down. One more to go. And he'll do that once he gets low on health again. Lots of shit to start avoiding. That's why mobility is so important in this game. Or one of the reasons. Also, you know, clear speed's pretty important. All right, this is the last one. He can't do this anymore after this. I think we connected. I think it's dying. Now let's just focus on staying alive. All right, buddy. It's time to see what this game has to offer. Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah. Lovely. All right, now previously, once you did that, you would talk to these guys up here, and then you'd go into the next difficulty. As you could see, it's a little different now. Access the ascent in the eastern side of Highgate. I guess that's, yeah, over here past these guys. How's it going?
No.
You guys good? Yeah, that's who you used to talk to go into the next difficulty. So this is the ascent. We're stepping into the new difficulty for the first time, or the new chapter, the new act. And from what I understand, we're going to be seeing some familiar places soon. I don't know when that actually kicks in. We also may run into some deities that we can kill to siphon power from. So far, it's just a lot of these guys that are just running towards us, not really doing much of anything. There's some new enemies that are like those dogs. Oh, this is part of the new league here. What you're seeing is a boss that's summoning in all of these guys. You can't actually hit the boss directly, but what we can do is kill the ads that he's spawning. And by killing those ads, we then deal damage to the boss. I didn't even see that guy there. So, actually our build works really well versus that. It's pretty good at clearing packs right as they spawn. And again, if a certain pack isn't dying necessarily fast enough or right away, we have the Wither Totem that we can throw down to amplify our damage. Now, I'm gonna try hard to explore as much as possible, even though, like, running through things at optimal efficiency is usually the name of the game for me. I am gonna try to take it slow and make sure we don't miss too much. At least that's the goal. I think I need to level up my Clarity Gem a little bit more. Because after I picked up Mind Over Matter, our mana just isn't quite regenning as fast as I was hoping it would. You may have noticed up at the top right, there is a new map system as well implemented into the game. Makes it a lot nicer to navigate around. Right, I think I've explored everything on this side. We need to cross this narrow little bridge now. Kind of forced us into that choke point. Surprised there wasn't more of an ambush waiting for us. Just kind of these guys hanging out. Interesting. White Death. He's quick and he resists cold, but he doesn't resist some poison to the face. I mean, first impressions of this zone so far, it's not terribly exciting for, like, discovering new things. I was expecting to be hit with a ton of new content right out of the gate. But I will say, as far as just farming XP, this is not a bad zone at all. The density is fantastic. And, like, you could just jump in between one pack immediately to the next pack. Might be a decent place to catch up on a few levels if I get behind. We found some kind of a camp here. Some cogwheels sitting around, grinding gear. Eh? Were those gears grinded? Eh? Another small little choke point we've been forced into. I've explored the majority of the map other than this. I swear to God, if there's one thing in that little middle point there, I'm gonna be so tilted. Like I keep saying, I'm expecting like a big confrontation because they keep funneling us into those small little choke points, but so far there's nothing. There's a quest up ahead. A quest attached to a lever. Activate the resonator. The resonator instruction.
Captain Tavares, altitude is imperative to forging a stable connection with the prime resonator in Theopolis. Power source is equally vital. Locate a fissure in the mountainside and lower a conductive cable into it. The deeper, the better. It will take an immense amount of thaumaturgical energy to execute the successful disintegration and transmission of objects, both inanimate and animate, between Highgate and Theopolis. For that kind of power, we must tap the origin. I needn't remind you of the consequences should either of those elements prove deficient. That is why I would like you, Tavares, to be the first to test the resonator once it is operational. Accountability is the perfect counterweight to ambition. High Templar Dominus.
Well, I'm assuming that's the guy right there that tested it, and that didn't go too well for him. Hopefully it goes a little bit better for us. Oh. Oh. It just opens up a portal. It's just like, whoa, here you go. This is what you were looking for. My initial reaction after hearing that explanation was, I understand some of those words. Oh, God, we zoned in like we were Terminators. There's a dude up there. We're in the slave pens. Okay, we have a waypoint here in the slave pens. Escape the slave pens. Yeah, no problem. I got out. What's the big deal? Why was that place so scary? I don't understand. All right, for real though. This looks like a pretty new design. Again, just generic little soldiers running at us. Nothing too big of a deal. Pretty claustrophobic in here as well. All right. Let's see what this place has to offer. It feels weird opening chests. Feels real strange. Oh, look at those shields. Reminds me of Dark Souls 2. Get some giant tower shields in that game. They're like pretty ornate as well. Look at that spread. I'm contemplating like picking up more AoE damage or more AoE radius. We have an AoE radius gem on our Contagion already. But there are some places in the talent tree that are available. Like we could pick those up if we wanted to. What I'm just a little unsure about is whether or not it's actually worth increasing the radius when it already spreads a ton anyway. Like, look at that. Could Radius have like sent that off to the other pack as well? Yeah, sure. But realistically, it only took me a second to cast that spell again. Oh, I see. So that opened up. This opened up and it kind of let these... They're dogs with big mustaches. Oh! Yeah, don't kill the mustache dogs! Hey, guys, can I come in? Can you guys just stand in that? Oh, if I didn't mention it already, I am using the arcane set for these skills. Honestly, the main reason, I don't necessarily like it more. The main reason we're using the arcane effects is because it shows up better in video, I think. It does kind of clash with the blue effect that these Harbinger guys do, but I kind of think it's worth just being able to see a bit easier where I'm actually casting my spell. I feel like that matters, you know, I feel like it matters. I'm thinking about the viewer. Looks like we're getting a little low on dexterity. Oh, I'm under-leveled. 44 for those. Yeah, all right, well, we got to get some leveling done so I can level up my gems. I was doing a little bit of farming over in that, that's when we started in, at the beginning of this video, where I was just showing off how the build works. That's where I got the majority of my chaos from. That place has always been a really good XP farm, and pretty good item drops as well. We've ventured pretty deep into this place so far. There has been a couple side paths that I haven't explored. So but before I leave, I am gonna go back and make sure I check all those out, but for the most part... Oh, we got an Overseer to kill! Oh, he's using that new lightning spell. Yeah, I heard that was bad. You need to stay up to date with the PoE news, bruh. Not very eventful. No real boss mechanics there. We got a ladder to get out, though. That leads us to the Overseer's Tower. I'm going to leave a portal here and then check out the rest of the zone. I'm assuming it's all the same, but I said I was gonna do that, damn it. So we can use that portal to get back here, and I'll just backtrack to where those kind of forks split off. We got the level though, boys! Because we need our gems to be stronger, obviously. Hey, let's just go down that list. I've cleared everything out all the way back to this starting waypoint. Now we should... Oh, can I not? Is it because there's not a town here? Hold on, what happens if I go here then? There's my portal, okay. We're good. Now to the Overseer's Tower. Oh, this looks like the new quest hub. Okay, or at least the new sanctuary, the new town. We did level up. I'm just increasing my chaos damage a little bit more. That is, again, what we're scaling with for the most part. Once I pick that up, I think I'm gonna head up here and get these nodes up there. I think. I don't know, we'll kind of see what my HP situation is like by the time we get there. Alright. So what do we have here?
Ha! After everything I've done, it took an Oriathan to get these slaves up off their shackled asses and fighting. I guess the Templar should have treated their lessers better than their slaves, eh? Well, I'm not about to turn down a gift from Kava. If he wants slave and outcast to join hands, then let's remind these Templar that they're flesh and blood, just like us. Utulamakora is what they call me.
Utulamakora.
I'm what passes for a chief around here. Well, I put the steel in their hands. I tell them where to stab, where to run, where to die. If that doesn't make me a chief, what does?
Why are you getting so defensive?
Blood isn't the only currency we need to earn to buy our freedom. We can kill all the Templar mongrels we like out there. It won't matter a damn if we don't get inside their stronghold, the Templar courts. Might as well put my bloody chains back on right now. Problem is, there's some sort of witchery surrounding the place. Only those who see the truth with faithful eyes are getting in there. The power of innocence. It's all in the eyes, you see. Yet blessed Kava has answered my prayers and sent us just the pair of eyes we need. The ever-faithful Justicar Casticus. He's there in the control blocks right now, smiting my people with self-righteous fury. Find him and rip his faithful eyes out. Then I'm sure the good Justicar will be kind enough to see you into the Templar courts.
So Utula, who definitely doesn't have an ego problem, wants us to go take someone's eyes out in order to gain access to an area. That sounds like something a normal person would do, no problem. He seems like a well-adjusted man. I'm sure he didn't torture animals when he was younger. You know, nothing like that. No, not him. He's a stand-up guy, okay?
Kura,
What a weirdo. Looks like he's a blacksmith. Which would make sense as to why he could sell us weapons. Okay. This is Lonnie? Laney? Has a cloak on, hunched over on a cane.
An exile returned. How was that even possible? Rising out of the darkness to claim the souls of our enemies, like Hinekora in the stories my mother used to tell me. Well, your divine intervention gave us just the diversion we needed to take this tower. So if you keep doing things like that, then I might have to start believing in the gods again.
Oh, cool. So...
And thank you for finishing off that last overseer for us. I don't know what sort of mother could have birthed that land-loving whale, but we were lucky he wasn't here when we took this tower. He'd have spread us across the floor like butter on a piece of bread. Here, take something for helping us in this hopeless fight of ours.
Take something. We can get some resistances. Are these any good? All the 2-stone rings are... I don't know what my resistances are at right now. I need more cold than anything else. But I feel like my rings are pretty good. Actually, this one's not very good at all. So... I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. Oh, rewards. So, I want one with fire and cold.
For freedom.
How do we do? Not that good! We're pretty good on resistance, though. We're actually capped right now. So... because we made such a big stir up in the slave pens, they were able to push in here and secure this tower. Right, we have someone else here. It looks like they're a scuba diver. They have one of those old diving helmets in his hands.
Unlike these assorted
Oh,
ignorati,
it's a girl!
I'm not surprised to see you here. The beast is dead, all thanks to you, I suppose. I was listening to the beast's death rattles when these lunatics broke in, wrecked the place, and dragged me here to tend to their cuts and bruises. Thankfully, I was able to bring some of my paraphernalia with me. The balance of power is shifting in your favor, O murderer of nightmares. If I am in possession of anything that might smooth the transition of governance, don't hesitate to ask. You'll find my terms quite reasonable. Some time ago, I fabricated a device able to sense and amplify the corrupt murmurings of Wraeclast. A miasmeter.
A what?
I listened to those whispers for years, lingering beyond sane comprehension. And then the scream. Such profound agony that my mind was nearly sundered by its percussion. I thought another cataclysm might be upon us. But no, it was you, slaying the beast. I was witness to a singularly potent cadence. This corruption, I am convinced that it holds the very key to our human history, and with it, our very existence. Yet without the miasmeter, I'm condemned to deafened ignorance. It remains in Piety's laboratory, as long as Utula's miscreants haven't vandalized the poor thing. Find it.
So Piety was one of our biggest opposition while we were playing through the original 4 acts of the game. And now we're going to go into her laboratory, which actually should be pretty interesting.
The Mother of Death watches over the city with great interest. You have joined us just in time. Before you lies a great many paths, each walked by a different life. But each must come to the same end. Eventually.
So she was all about giving prophecies that can kind of change how we interact with the world. Like special things can happen, some of them good, some of them bad. We'll just go ahead and seek a bunch of prophecies, why not? I'm not even going to take the time to read them. Although they could be amazing, I really doubt that they are.
Corruption is carried on a...
So, we need to get Justicar Castia's eyes? so we could go into the Templars area, and we need to get the miasmeter. The miasmeter is optional, but I think it'd be pretty cool to see Piety's place. Oh, and we fulfilled a prophecy. I don't even know what the prophecy was. Oh, this place is dark. Whoa!
Holy foes lay in wait. A show of force.
Well, thank you.
Intentions.
Thanks, lady. So where are we right now? What is this zone called? We're in the control blocks. So this is above the slave pens. This is like where the officers would be, right? Looking down on us. Not terribly different from where we were earlier. I wonder where that laboratory is. Actually, I wonder what we'll find first. Will I stumble across the laboratory, or will I run into the Justicar that we need to kill? While we were down in the slave pens, we could kind of see guys above us, right? There were platforms that we couldn't get up to. And now it looks like I'm on those platforms and I'm able to shoot down at people that maybe I can't get down to. Actually, never mind. Never mind, was reading into it too much. My bad, team. God, that is so satisfying. Holy shit. Because of that shrine that we just picked up. Oh, there we go, we got some levels. Because of that shrine we just picked up, I'm able to summon in skeletons whenever we kill something. So basically, I'm always going to have a massive, massive undead army. Or at least for the next 28 seconds. Pretty cool effect. One of my favorites, actually. Not that it's terribly useful, but it's still a cool effect. Oh, we have a quest up ahead. The experimental supplies. Okay. Down over here on the left. Oh! This looks like a laboratory! Piety had a boss fight where she was turning into some electrical demon thing. Is there gonna be a fire area too? God, I would hate to be hooked up to that thing. Holy shit. So, I'm assuming that these are the experimental supply. These experimental supplies are the miasmeter. Hey! So that was optional. We didn't need to do that, but we could be rewarded with something really, really good for doing that. Like we can, previously, you know, in the first 4 acts, you can get stuff like additional skill points, which I shouldn't have to tell you, very, very, very useful, especially over the long term of the game as you continue to accumulate more and more. We do have a champion guy in here. Yeah, maybe I oversold him a little bit. Stop hitting my totem. What's wrong with you? So far, the exploring going pretty well, other than this little side room here, so I'm assuming there's not too much back there. But we can always just go back to town and check that really easily. Nice job, bro. Yeah, you shot me real good. I kind of feel like the main thing I'm lacking right now is just mana return, which is surprising. Because I'm running a Clarity that's actually leveled up to a pretty sizable amount. Like, if I turn that off, look how much of my mana it's actually reserving. But it's not regenning as fast as I would hope it would. And with the Mind Over Matter, whenever we take damage, you know, it's pulling away from our mana pool. Instead of dealing direct damage to us right away. So I was kind of thinking that, you know, I don't actually use a lot of mana with this build, especially because our travel ability, because of the Trickster Ascension. Uh-oh, there's the Justicar. Hold on, hold the phone. Oh, you made it too easy, bud. You made it too easy. We actually did take his eyes. Look, there's 2 eyes on the ground. Yo, I'm looking at eyes over here. Shut the fuck up. Okay. So I'm not sure if we keep going here or if we should go back to town for a reward. But there is a lot to this place that I have not explored so far. Like I said, I want to make sure that I'm doing that. I don't want to miss anything. Oh, this is the next zone here. Oriath Square. Is this where the Templars were? It looks like it was a really far distance, actually. Right, we made it here. But I'm going to explore the rest of this place just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Which, like I said, I have a feeling that there's not going to be too much, but just in case, you never know. This could be where we get our mirror, you know? Looks like I've fully explored the zone now. We're going to head back to town and give that miasmeter back to its rightful owner. And see what we get out of it. I mean, it's an optional quest, so it could be anything.
I simply can't express how wondrous it is to see you.
Oh, you too,
What?
baby girl.
No, not you, Exile. The miasmeter.
Oh, fucking
The hope
own
of
me.
humanity lies in this beautiful device and the precious knowledge it shall divulge. Far more useful than an accidental hulk of meat and instinct like yourself. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to discover that your slaying of the beast correlates directly to the strife we must currently suffer. At least you've proved useful enough to return the miasmeter to me. That deserves some small reward, I suppose.
Oh, grants a passive skill point. Just need to find a place to put it. There we go.
Now, where was I?
Thank you. By killing Casticus, you've given us a fighting chance. And about his eyes, I'm sorry you had to do that. Yet although Utula's solution might seem brutal,
Yeah, a little bit.
I've seen Karui men blinded with a hot poker, simply for looking a fraction too long at an Oriathan lady. Yes, this is war. And just a little revenge, too. Take something. A token of our thanks.
Don't mind if I do. The game's been throwing flasks at me like crazy. They restored 2,000 health right now, which is way more than I even have. But I don't know, those mana flasks, they don't look too good. Let's go ahead and take a health one, and then I'll assess which one we actually want to use. I think this is where we're going to end the first episode of the expansion. I hope you guys enjoyed it so far. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Subscribe if you're new here, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on your way out.